Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp. Like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing that MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad. Like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say. And deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we can throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs. For making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes, as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind, it's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good, great Friday afternoon, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to the Patriots Lab, and I got with me Fridays only, Randy Genealogist Rose. How are you doing today, sir?
You don't have me in.
Oh, see, that's messed up.
Here
There we
I am.
go. There you go. We got him. My
I'm
apologies.
here. That's
Y'all
fine.
probably thought I was talking to myself for a minute.
That's okay. I'm
What's go-
invisible.
Let's go. Let's try this. Good afternoon. What's going on? I got Randy Genealogist Rose in the lab with me today. What's going on, Randy?
Hey, it's an exciting day. The weather's changing in Pennsylvania. Yes, it is. It's getting cooler. We actually had the AC turned off for the entire day yesterday. We had the windows open. The breeze was blowing through. It's like, oh, fall is coming. And of course, along with the fall comes the aches and pains of being an old man. But
You said you was up late last night with one of your animals.
oh my God, yeah, we have a 19-year-old cat, and uh, this is going to sound terrible, folks. We love cats. We love our dog. They are our children, but uh, she's 19 years old now. She is nothing but skin on bone, and there are people who would say that we're being cruel not to put her down, right? But damn it, she has in her, the light, the light in her eyes have dimmed a little bit, but she eats, she pees and poos in the litter box, she sleeps at the top of daddy's head, she has to have that, and she has to have that closeness, she uh, uh, when she's ready to sleep at night, I mean really sleep, uh,
Right.
uh, she, uh, she'll she'll come to me and she'll scratch the side of my head very slight, right? And I know that she wants me to edge down on the bed so she has that gap between the headboard and my head so she can sleep right up against my head, right? And she has to have that touch, that sense of feeling against my head, and then she falls asleep. Um, but she's just a little bit of she's skin on top of bone. There's no fat. There's no muscle left on her. But she can jump from my dresser to my bed. It's from the very active. Um, we have this. We have 8 cats. She has no issues with any of them except for, and this, Ray, do not take this the wrong way, okay? We have this one coal black cat. His name's Orion, uh, and she's a white cat. She cannot stand him. If she even sees his paw around the corner of the wall. She goes into this god awful sounding lion roar. You get where I'm coming from.
Wow.
And then if they and if he wants to be her friend.
Right.
That's all he wants. He wants to be her friend. He does not understand why she acts the way she does. So he even after she's acting this way, he will walk in, slouch in, right, in a submissive way into the room, knowing that he's gonna get his ass kicked by this 19-year-old skin and bone cat, and she will go and she attacks him. And the next thing you know, all you see is this black and white rolling around. It's like this, and it's screaming and yelling and screaming and yelling, right? And they say to you, don't, when you see a cat fight, don't stop them because you'll get involved with it as well.
Right.
But, so dummy me, right? I don't follow the rules. I go in there and, I grab the white cat and she's so much into this. Her mind is on this fight. She doesn't realize it's me. So next thing I know, she's attacking me, right? So and I take
Your
it.
cat's attacking you?
Yeah, I mean she's going down on my arms, my hands.
I'd
But
have had to throw that damn cat outside. I'd have had to throw it outside.
she's an indoor cat. But so I'm grabbing this cat and I'm taking her away, and I'm hugging her, right? I'm trying to. Eventually, she calms down and she knows it's fine. She realizes, it's my daddy. It's my daddy, and she finally realizes it, and she calms down, right? But I mean, she still has life in her, right?
Well, keep her until her last days.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do.
That's what you got to do. Well, let's get into this first clip.
Yeah.
And then me and Randy, we're gonna piggyback off of it and tell you what you think. But
Let's go.
seems it's I always used to like Bill Maher. Only thing I don't like is when you're a person that tries to play both sides of the aisle. You either accept what's going on and condemn the others, or be quiet. There's no way you can accept what's going on and be pissed off with what's going on and not condemn the people in which are doing it. You're trying to straddle the fence. But let's see what Mr. Maher has to say. I was checking him out, and let's see what Maher has to say here.
Of course, they didn't like it. And it's just a good example of, could everybody just stop the posturing? Don't pretend that you love migrants so much, and then when we send them to you, you don't like them. You're full of shit, and we can see that. Yeah, you liked them when it wasn't your problem because you're not a border state. And then when they show up in Chicago and New York, you're like, what the what are we going to do with these people?
So, basically what he's talking about, we had Mayor Eric Adams come out the other day and basically say that we have no more room. Don't send any more. And shame on the Republican states that are sending them. Now, let me get this straight. Oh, and now he's talking about we need to secure the border. So let me get this straight. Just a couple of months ago, you was up in arms talking about send them here. We're a sanctuary city. And the ones that don't want to be a sanctuary city, you're racist. So y'all thought it was all shits and giggles, fun and games. while it was going on down in Texas, Arizona, Montana, Utah, while it was affecting the people in those areas, it was all fun and games. But now that it's in the liberal backyards, I showed some clips of how the liberals are going crazy in Chicago and in California. I had Jen on the show, and I asked her. I said, "Do they deserve what they get? I mean, what?" But now they're crying, and I don't seem to understand how they can all of a sudden do the same thing that they were just criticizing people like Abbott and others for sending them here.
You know
Sounds like a bunch of double talk. What you think, Randy?
You know what doesn't make sense to me? We have the Midwest, and we have all that open land, okay? Millions and millions of acres of nothing but open land, right? Why can't we build those 15-minute cities in that open land? Okay, first off, I don't want the illegals, period, okay? I don't want them, okay? But until President Donald Trump is reinstated in the White House and he puts a permanent stop to it, okay? Why can't we take some of those millions of acres of land out in the Midwest and take and build some of those 15-minute cities out there, and then transfer those illegal immigrants out there? Why are we sending them into the damn major cities where they're already overloaded, where they already have a slum problem, they already have people living in the damn streets? Why are we doing? I know the purpose. The purpose is to convince the damn Democrats to put a stop to the illegals coming across. I got that image, okay. But all it's going to cause is the bubonic plague's going to come back. You watch and see. It's going to happen.
I was just sitting here thinking, oh, it's early in the morning, and you know what? It's not morning, it's afternoon. Hey, good afternoon, Dave Glavin Boogie with the Bull. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see here if I can bring this up. It's been playing with me, not want to act right. So now it seems that man. Y'all know what y'all get it live and in living color, so sorry. I had a clip I wanted to pull up, but I can't, my system's running kind of slow, so I can't go into it. But we're going to be talking about Donald Trump here for a second. Indulge with me. Donald Trump, y'all know, has been indicted for the third time. This is the thing. In these indictments for the January 6th that they are trying to indict him for, notice there are two key things. I was trying to pull up Alan Dershowitz, and I couldn't pull him up. That's actually missing. Remember, he was accused of seditious insurrection and trying to overthrow the government, conspiracy to overthrow the government. Those two charges were deliberately left out because they couldn't prove those two charges. Now, they had to leave those out because they couldn't prove it. The other ones, the allegations and stuff, and trying to go into the mindset of what they want to say, this is what Trump was thinking. That's all they're charging them off of what they say Trump was thinking. What's that? What's the prosecutor's name? What's his name? The one that's prosecuting this one, Randy.
James?
Ja-
Is it James?
what the hell is that? Is it
Yes.
James?
I think it's James.
Okay, the one that's prosecuting him right now.
The one from New York?
And where he is, they with the beard. Jack. What's his name? Damn, I'm tongue tied this morning. The one that's prosecuting him now, Jack Smith. All right, Dave. There you go. Dave gets some brownie points this morning. Ding, 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 ding. Jack Smith. Now, what Jack Smith doesn't realize, in doing his job, and I didn't understand this, you cannot deliberately leave out any type of information that might help the defendant, which means you can't blatantly omit to try to further your agenda, omit some facts. They continue to leave out how Donald Trump in his January 6th speech said, let's peacefully and patriotically forget what happened. Forget what happened. Forget the monkeys climbing the walls and all that other nonsense. Forget that. It's what they are trying to say Donald Trump was thinking. Forget the fact that he called Nancy Pelosi, said, Nancy, girl, I got 10,000 armed National Guards I'm about to send up there to you. Nancy said, no, we got this. If he's going to offer 10,000 National Guardsmen and women's men, how is that him trying to do something? So, but with them leaving it open, do you know what they did? They left Donald Trump open for something called discovery. They let Donald Trump, Jack Smith, do you know what you have done? You have now given Donald J. Trump the opportunity to air everything that he feels was done wrong to him in defense of himself. You're trying to say he knowingly and willingly and really thought in his head that he lost, but he was going to try to fight this anyway. No. He really, just like I do, believes he won. And in order for him to prove that he believes that, what does he have to do? He has to prevent the facts that he got from the 2000 mule footages when they was tracking everybody going to the drop boxes and it shouldn't have been. He's going to be able to show all the discrepancies. He's going to be able to point out all the unconstitutional things that the senators did that they didn't have the authority to do to bend the rules. He's got an opportunity to bring forth his argument now. But y'all want to have a what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to hurry up and have a quick session. Well, let's go ahead and close this up, wrap this up real quick. No, he's entitled to due process. He's entitled to due process. So he brings up everything that Mike Lindell and his investigations with the pillow people brought up with all the technology that was used. Jack Smith, why do you think they've overturned everything you ever did? Why do you think the Supreme Court overturned two of the people you convicted twice? Because you operate more off of ego than off of actual and factual evidence. So you're going to do all of this stuff just to leave yourself. It's like It's like a fighter that just wants to go out swinging so aggressive. You got to watch out for that counter punch, because it could be deadly. And Jack Smith, you just got hit with one, bruh. You came out swinging so hard because y'all so desperate. You defy all logic and all consequences and repercussions of your actions at the moment. And now look what you left yourself. But we got to go through this. We got to go. You know why we got to go through this? Because all of this sets precedent. It sets precedent. Shit that has never been done before sets precedent. Trump is never going to jail. You know why? Because there's no evidence. There's no proof that he ever done anything. Where on the other hand, y'all are setting precedent. By doing what you're doing to Trump, you're setting precedent for Hillary Clinton. You're setting precedent for Barack Obama. You're setting precedent. Don't y'all understand? Donald Trump is going on a 4-year revenge tour. He already told you. You took the gloves off. You tried to destroy me. Do you know mainstream media outlets have showed 4 minutes of what's going on with Joe Biden? That is a damn shame. 4 minutes. Compared to 478 minutes of Trump lies. I'm surprised they don't know what color shit came out of Donald Trump's ass. They following him so tight. Well, I watched it yesterday. No wonder the Democrats can keep their followers mesmerized. That shit had me mesmerized. I said they following this motherfucker from when he wakes up in the morning in the shower to when he go to bed at night. Oh, man. Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, you might be surprised. Yeah, but you know what? You know what? At the same time, though, Trump could be the kind of person that when he goes to the bathroom, he may just be the kind of person who makes sure that kind of stuff cannot be taken to protect himself. Because I know there are leaders who, when they go to the bathroom, they're so concerned about someone coming in afterwards and taking their bowel movement or the paper that they wipe themselves with for medical evidence to determine, what they ate, their health, because they can determine, by the what's in it, how healthy a person is and their DNA and so forth. So there's some people who actually make sure that, is not there and can be taken. Trump could be one of those kind of people because of his position, that he values his privacy, and to the point to, when he goes to the bathroom, make sure that, that stuff gets destroyed. But let's go off that stuff. That's a little stinky subject to talk about. But yeah, Prosecutor Smith, it was brought out in the news that it seems every time, something comes out about Biden or a member of his family, that the same or the next day they find something new about Trump. It's almost like, oh God, they found this about Biden. Well, we got to find something about Trump's. Got to get attention off of Joe. Oh, look, he did this. He fell off his tricycle. This is about Trump now. This we got to get attention off of Biden. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. Trump did that. It's just like I said, they went back to freaking Civil War to find out one rule that, they're going to charge, Trump with. 140 years they went back. So God, let's hope Biden keeps himself clean from between now and the freaking, election, because otherwise they'll keep finding, he'll keep screwing up, and they'll keep throwing stuff on Trump. It's like, the poor guy. By the time he gets to election, he's going to have an encyclopedia set of all the crimes, all the false crimes that the Democrats tried to charge him with, that he actually was not, did not do, that he actually fought and won against.
Right. Hey, let me give it a quick shout outs real quick. Hey, Dave Clavin, Darren McClain, Vendel Trucking, Michelle Christian, Peleus. Who else we got? Robin Walker, Gene Sutton, Lovey Evans, Angie Riley, Louis Mendoza, Julius Hall. I want to thank y'all for tuning in real quick. But let's jump into hey, when your homeboy comes out, when y'all been rolling and stuff for a long time, and you grow up together and everything, y'all do dirt and everything, y'all think everything cool. Y'all move from level to level to level. So, seems like Hunter Biden and Devin Archer were homeboys. And they were so much tight that before Hunter decided to go off into his illegal escapade, he took Devin Archer with him. And Devin Archer and him worked side by side with foreign dignitaries in Ukraine, Russia. Uzbekistan is now on the list. Uzbekistan is officially now on the list, along with China and all the other countries that they done business with. But before we go into it, y'all already heard it yesterday. Breaking news. Devin Archer, my boy, didn't want to go to jail. Hunter, that might have been your guy. But yo, we're going to let Devin Archer say it for himself. The actual and factual is shit everybody didn't want y'all to see and hear. If I can get my screen up here. I'm not going to show the whole thing. This is just a clip it of Devin in his own words. Let me see if I get this over here. I want to mute me. It won't let me mute me. Go ahead. Have at it.
What were the specific skills that you brought to the point?
Well, at the end of the day, he graduated Yale Law School and had a very big network in D.C. and brought that know-how and understanding of D.C. and ultimately the Biden brand.
The know-how, so as far as I could tell, he wasn't doing legal work. I mean, he wasn't in the counsel's office at Burisma, right?
No.
So the network and the Biden brand sounds like the kind of key component of
Absolutely,
what
yeah.
he was bringing.
Yep.
Do you think that he would have been in those businesses, not having a business background, without his father being in a government position?
It's hard to speculate in those regards. I mean,
Yeah.
I think when we initially met and he talked about his advisory business, his business that needed to transition from lobbying to advisory and the interest in private equity, it seemed like a new and interesting network for us to expand our business. Whether he could have, been in that position, it's hard for me to speculate.
Right.
But obviously, the brand of Biden, adds a lot of power when your dad's the vice president.
For sure. And there was a time, maybe 10 years ago, when private equity, maybe like AI now, was just one of those terms people were throwing out, I'm in private equity.
Right.
But the mechanics, having done it, coming from a business background yourself, are kind of complex. Are they not?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's a complex business. Takes years of training. But again, the initial idea around the business that they were going to provide, the government insight and an additional network to raise capital and then, deal with regulatory issues that you might have at the corporate level.
Right. Regulatory issues.
Exactly.
Okay. So that would be more his area.
Right. That would be his space.
Right. But did he have a sophisticated understanding of regulation, do you think?
I think that he led a team that had a sophisticated.
Okay, because I lived in Washington a long time, around a lot of regulation. Also, a very complex area.
Absolutely. I think you got to be an expert in knowing the guy, and he was the guy that was the expert in knowing the guy.
He was an expert in knowing the guy.
Right.
And who was the guy he knew?
Well, he knew a lot of people, but obviously there was some familiar, his brother, his father, some of his father's siblings. So he knew a lot of people. And obviously I know you're pointing to, the father being the key relationship.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get a sense of, Washington's not a money town.
Right.
People aren't in business in Washington for the most part, and most people don't have business skills that I've noticed in 30 years of living there. So really the business of Washington is selling access. That's what it looked like to me.
Yes.
Not just Hunter Biden, but
I think that's one of the core misconceptions. I mean, it seems like when understanding a regulatory environment means selling access at the end of the day. That's how I interpret it. And I think that's how most people in Wall Street, whether they admit it or not, interpret it.
Yeah. So we've got a complex business that intersects with government. We need a guy who knows it.
Right. How do I, deal with getting a guy a visa that needs to come over for a business deal?
Right.
Call our lobbyist that knows the guy in DHS or used to work in DHS or, in Customs and Border Patrol or the people at the embassy and state. They might be able to help. So there are very tactical elements that are regulatory and compliance and governance that you have to go through, and you got to know the guy that worked at the old agency that now has the lobbying firm that can go back to the agency and get things put to the front of the line.
So the reason I'm asking this is because it's not to give the Bidens a pass, hardly, but when people say, well, there's some question about whether Hunter was trading on his father's name, if you live in Washington, that's the whole city right there.
Right. I think you know the answer to that. At the end of the day,
so
he had the best advantage to do that because of where he was. And we thought that when we went into business, this was a great opportunity for us.
So I get it, and you're not the only one who did that.
Right, there were a lot of
Hunter
businesses.
Biden's not the only son of a famous government official who's done this, right? At all. But I just wonder, when you hear people say, "Well, it's kind of an open question,"
right,
about why they hired Hunter Biden, that's pretty disingenuous, no?
Right. I think at the end of it, so when you look at the whole, there are people that maybe were, sons or relatives or brother-in-laws of other high-ranking officials, but I think what we ran into and with what Hunter ran into was almost like an Icarus issue. So he got it was too close to the sun. It was too good to be true, and the connections were too close and the scrutiny too much.
Yes.
And it ended up destroying, it left a wake of a lot of destruction in businesses over a number of years.
So how many, it's been reported, and you have said that there were occasions when Joe Biden would call in with clients present on a speakerphone.
Right.
How many times do you think that happened?
I mean, over a 10-year partnership, I would, the number I'm going with is 20. That's probably the amount that I
So a lot.
kind of record. Yeah, a lot, you could say.
So Joe Biden, who's very much a product of Washington, of course.
Remember, Joe didn't know nothing.
To effectively a business meeting that his son was having. I mean, he must have understood that.
Boom!
That was kind of what his son was selling.
Back when I was younger, I used to play those battleship games.
Well, it's hard for me to speculate on that.
But I guess my question, just to keep it to the facts, Joe Biden, then the sitting vice president, knew that there were Hunter's business associates in the room.
Yeah, I think I can definitively say at particular dinners or meetings, he knew there were business associates, and or if I was there, I was a business associate too. So I think, or if, any of the other colleagues from the DC office or the New York office were there. So yeah, at times there were. From the, to be, completely clear on the calls, I don't know if it was an orchestrated call in or not. It certainly was powerful though, because, if you're sitting with a foreign business person and you hear the vice president's voice, that's prize enough. I mean, that's pretty impactful stuff for anyone.
It's been reported, and I know that it is true, that Hunter and his brother were very close to their dad.
Absolutely.
Which I think is great.
Yep.
I've got a lot of kids. I'm very close to them, talk to them every day.
Yeah.
Never called them on speaker during a business meeting. That's weird. You've got a lot of kids. You're close to them. Do you call them on speaker during business meetings?
Do I call?
I mean, what is that? A grown man calling his dad on a speakerphone during a business meeting?
Right. And to be clear, sometimes it was the call was coming in and the speaker would go on. So it's just the presence. You have to be, I mean, you understand DC, right? So the power to have that access and that conversation, and it's not in a scheduled conference call, and it's a part of your family. That's like the pinnacle of power in DC.
100%. I guess I'm pivoting against the lie that I'm hearing people tell with a straight face. Congressman Goldman, for example, that we don't really know what was going on. Really? You're taking a call from the vice president and you put it on speaker. It's not just, hey, Dad, I'm in a meeting with some buddies.
Right.
It's let me put my dad, the vice president, on speaker.
Yeah. Yep. In the rear view, it's an abuse of soft power, I'd say.
An abuse of soft power. Interesting. When did you meet Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, I met the first time probably at the 2000 convention. I think it was in LA, and then Boston was 2004. So those two times I probably shook hands as they made kind of the power circles around the. You've been to them through the skyboxes, and then following that, really when our partnership started in 2008, 2009ish, conversation started. That's when I re-met Hunter and actually had a sit down and meal with him, talked about the transition from lobbying into strategic advisory, and then kind of some type of coalescence around having a private equity fund that would have this unique access and understanding of a regulatory environment in DC.
Again, got it.
Okay, for time's sake, if you want to see the rest of the interview with Devin Archer and Tucker Carlson, it's floating all around page. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Randy, the floor is yours. What do you think? I mean, like I said, I thought everything else, there could be nothing else. I mean, literal firsthand account of Joe Biden being on speakerphone with business associates. What else is it going to take, man? Like you always say, what is it going to take?
You know, I don't want to sound like the person that's always going to say nothing's going to happen. He's going to get away with it. But I'm going to anyways. He's going to get away with it. They will get away with it. Which guy was it that said that just yesterday or the day before that Trump will get his mugshot taken? He's going to guarantee he's going to get his picture taken. I forget which one it was, but the one when the new allegations were presented, that
You talking about the one in Georgia?
I think it was Georgia. He said he will get his picture taken. He will get his mug shot taken. They are trying everything to demoralize him, to shame him, meaning President Trump. They're trying to do everything to turn his base against him. And all they're doing is strengthening his base. All they're doing is making his base send in that dollar bill to him, and he is gaining millions of dollars in support. His percentage of on the polls. Have you seen the gap between him and DeSantis? They're now saying that DeSantis has dropped down so low that he may be forced to drop out of the election. The only thing that this thing is doing is showing us in the Republican Party the ones who are truly going to back him. And I hope that when President Trump, and God, please let him get elected, will kick those people to the ground and not make use of them, because they were not here. They were not there for him when he needed them to back him up during this top time of his trial. That, and isn't it amazing how since the other thing that the Congress is trying to do to uh, get the American people's minds off of Biden, they have released information about the UFOs and the bodies they found, and the underground cities, and the huge UFOs that they have in their possession. Now, all of a sudden, all across our nation, and just recently across where they filmed that one TV series, that one, it's on TV right now. They had this one TV series that they film. Anyways, they were actually filming filming the show, and during that time frame, the video caught a fleet of spaceships flying across the desert land. Okay, so all of a sudden, all this stuff's coming out. And Michael Anthony's been talking about it too and showing all these things. And Michael, I'm giving you a shout out here. I don't know if you saw it, but I do publicly want to apologize for my comment the other day about your guest. That was terribly wrong of me. I should never done it. I smacked myself. I was wrong for doing that, and I truly am sorry. I should never done that. But they're doing all these flying saucers now. They're talking about the congressman was saying that he's saying that they anticipate these aliens landing in a couple of days for a meet and greet. So I don't know. I'm serious.
Okay. All right.
But hey, you know what?
Who told him? Who told him?
I don't know. I don't know about.
I mean, what they sent they sent a middleman. How they know? How they know the time? How they know the time frame?
Yeah,
Oh, they're coming to see us. We're coming to have a sit down in a couple of days. Well, who told you? Who informed you?
You know what, folks? At this point in time, with the way our world is, I would welcome an alien invasion, just and just to clean this mess up that we're in. I know I probably will wind up being alien of food or something like that. Remember that one series where they came? They were absolutely beautiful people that came in these spaceships.
Hey, if they come, they just need to bring some good weed. That's all. Just bring some good weed when you come.
The TV series, they're absolutely beautiful people. They came and they were had this ability to heal people and to make people feel good, and after a while, people started to disappear, and to realize that these people were lizards inside this fake skin, and they actually were farming the humans for food.
I don't. Nah, that's not. Nah, I don't travel in those lanes. I really don't.
But
I
anyway,
mean, last time I watched stuff like that was back. I don't know, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica.
yes. Well, I need to bounce. I got things to do. But I do want to say one thing, folks. As you know, I do genealogy. I do research people's family history. So if you have a need or desire to find out about your family history, or just have a question, I'd be more than happy to help you. I would be more than happy to help you with finding answers to your questions. If you have a brick wall, I can help you with a brick wall. Or if you want to do a deep dive search, I'm very cheap. My rates are very, very reasonable. But I also do something else. I am affiliated with the Southern Independence Association. I've always mentioned about the Democrats' desire to rewrite history and to destroy the Southern heritage, specifically from the Civil War. If you destroy the history, Doesn't matter whose history, European, Canadian, Australian, for some reason, the left is in a drive to destroy history. If you destroy history, folks who come after us, our children, our grandchildren, great grandchildren, as they live, life will repeat itself because it doesn't have the grounding, the base to learn from. So, for an example, a child on a bicycle riding down a bike doesn't have a helmet, and they fall and they hurt themselves. They come back to mommy. Oh, no. Wait, you don't have your helmet on? Oh, okay, you didn't put the helmet on, right? And they go right around there, honky dory. And then next day they take the helmet off and they go right around it and they get hurt and they come back. Oh, we didn't have our helmet on. Oh yeah, and they forget, right? So history is the same way. If you erase history, after a period of time, you'll forget the history that took place, and you're bound to repeat it. If you don't like the history that was, fine. You can put it into a museum. You can build a building, put a stuff into it. But don't burn it. Don't destroy it. Don't melt it down. Don't throw paint on it. Okay. One person who doesn't like a statue does not have the right to destroy what was history for thousands of people. Okay, relocate it if you want, put it into a museum, build a special, like Trump. He wanted to build this beautiful park to take all these statues and put it into a beautiful setting so that people who appreciate that can go and enjoy it. Okay, but then the Democrats, destroyed that idea. So I am part of this association that's doing that, and we're looking for volunteers to help us in that respect for across the states who are being affected. So if you have a desire to help save and preserve the Southern heritage, reach out to me and let's talk. And with that, William, I gotta bounce. I got things to do.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, as always, man. Thank you for coming on to the lab. Thank you for coming.
Nope, thanks for having me. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep having fun with Joe Biden and the family.
Hey, looks like everything is on the up and up. Brighter days to come with them guys.
It's always a fun day with the Biden cartel.
Everybody say bye to Mr. Randy. Bye, Mr. Randy. All right, later, bro. Yeah, it's always fun having Randy the genealogist Rose on here. But before I get into my next clip, I'll show the next clip first. Let me show you the next clip first, actually. Let's go ahead and get into this. And then I will put my little bit to it. Let me see. Make sure I got to get it right now. Got to get it right. Got to get it right. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, here we go. Yo, keep your eye on the Somali girl. Yo, did she just skip? Yo, watch her skip. She skipped. You know how most athletes, when they get ready to go through the line, they stretching themselves out. They giving it their all. Watch her skip. Let me. I know she was gone a while. They was beating her, but she just gave up. Check it out, though. Check it out. I know she was gone, but watch her just give up. Boom, they got her. They got her. She's trying, though. And watch her skip across. She gonna skip like it ain't nothing. Boop, boop. That was like, she wasn't even trying. Thank you to the Guardian. Now, what they're saying is she was not a track person. She trained to run up against elite runners for a total number of 3 weeks. She didn't even look like an athlete. I'm sorry. Well, she didn't look like a track runner. Oh, no, she didn't look like a track runner. Why would they do something like that? Why? But you know, the athletic commissioner, one of the athletic commissioners, obviously was possibly aware of that. So they were terminated. They were let go. But man, what an embarrassing situation. You see, you're already coming in last. At least give it all you got. Her country was not happy with her at all. Was not happy. Moving on to the next topic. So, how many have actually infiltrated our country and our military already? How many? So, it's come to be known that 2 Navy sailors, let's see. I'll talk after. Let me go ahead and let y'all listen to this.
First time ever, a San Diego service member has been charged with espionage for selling secret documents to China. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Jesse Pagan, in for Marcelo Lee. Petty Officer Patrick Way was stationed at Naval Base San Diego on board the USS Essex. CBS 8's David Goffredson was in federal court this afternoon when prosecutors said Way told another sailor he was involved in espionage.
The 22-year-old petty officer pleaded not guilty in federal court Thursday afternoon, one day after being arrested at Naval Base San Diego on espionage charges. Patrick Way worked as a machinist on board the USS Essex. He had a security clearance and sent classified material to a Chinese intelligence officer between March 2022 and as recently as 2 days ago, according to San Diego's U.S. Attorney, Randy Grossman.
Our indictment alleges that over the course of more than a year and on multiple occasions, Way sent national defense information to China, including documents, photos, videos, and technical manuals.
Prosecutors said Way collected between $10,000 and $15,000 from his Chinese intelligence officer, while at the same time working to become a U.S. citizen.
The officer even congratulated him when he became a U.S. citizen in May of 2022.
A second Navy petty officer, 26-year-old Thomas Zhao, is in custody in Los Angeles, facing bribery and conspiracy charges for allegedly passing classified records to the Chinese government. Zhao worked at Naval Base Ventura County and is accused of accepting $15,000 in bribes from a Chinese handler.
Mr. Zhao transmitted operational plans for a large-scale U.S. military exercise in the Indo-Pacific region, which details specific location and timing of naval force movements.
In court Thursday, the prosecutor said the San Diego defendant told a fellow sailor he was being recruited for what he knew was, quote, quite obviously effing espionage. It's unclear if the 2 sailors were communicating with the same Chinese intelligence officer, but prosecutors believe the cases are indeed related.
They're related because they reflect the overall effort and the malign activities of the PRC when it comes to threatening our national security.
The same communicating with the same Chinese intelligence officer.
All right. So, here we're dealing with. Remember the balloon that we were dealing with that came over, the spy balloon that they say that couldn't take back no information, but I think we beg to differ on that. And all of the other allegedly technology aspects that they have on us. And now we see two of our own. And when I mean own, I mean military servicemen, United States military servicemen of Chinese descent, selling off information. How much more of this is going on? We're in trouble. We're in trouble. How do you clean something like this up? How do you vet? What, do you go and vet everybody? I don't know. But on that note, I'm getting ready to wrap up because I need to get me some lunch. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate Randy, the genealogist, Rose, as always, for tuning in, coming into the lab. So in the meantime, in between time, y'all stay safe. Y'all have a blessed weekend. And until we meet again. Oh, I turned that up too loud. Until we meet again. Deuces. This is your man. I'm out.